Today we are ranking all of these seasons of Stranger Things. Season 4 Volume 2 is coming out this Friday on July 1st. So with that being said, we are going to rank everything that came before it. So yes, Volume 1 will be on here as well, even though we don't actually know how the season will be ending. But let's not waste any more time and rank Stranger Things. Stranger Things has managed to capture the attention of the whole entire world. It is a global phenomenon, but there are some parts of the series that I admit I'm not a huge fan of. So, with that being said, coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Stranger Things 3. Yes, the third season of Stranger Things happens to be my least favorite of the entire series at the moment. The reason Season 3 is at the bottom of this list is due to the fact that we grew to know the show as a small-town supernatural drama with these really likable characters at the center of it and this small town that is at the center of it. And with Season 3, it explodes and brings in the Russians. For me personally, the Russians felt way better off as a hint towards a threat, as the citizens of Hawkins didn't really know what was going on. Was it the Russians? Was it the US government? Was it, aliens like the Demogorgon? We didn't know, and that was part of the fun of seasons 1 and 2, not knowing where the Demogorgon came from, where this upside down originated from, and bringing in the Russians really, it was cool, but it wasn't what I expected from Stranger Things and wasn't what I was used to with the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things. I do like the character development, and I easily find that the bits between Max and her brother Billy are the best moments in this season. Obviously, with Billy sacrificing himself, I do find that to be a very moving moment, except for the fact that I just wish that Max and Billy had been around since season 1 to make that moment even more impactful. Another complaint that I had with Season 3 that managed to make it this far down on the list is just the green goo, the green gloop, whatever it was that they showed in Season 3. It was just about as pointless of a storyline, plotline as Eleven's sister was in Season 2. And the final nail in the coffin that put Season 3 at the bottom of the list for me personally is Hopper's fake-out death. I did not believe this really in any way. It wasn't convincing, and we all knew that he was going to come back. And after another fake-out death, I was just kind of on the show, and I will have to admit, at the end of Season 3, I was looking forward to Season 4 the least because of the way that Season 3 played out. So, that is why Season 3 is at the bottom of this list, but let's move right on to the number 3 spot, which we have Stranger Things Season 2. Season 2 is much better than Season 3 in my opinion, but it still feels lost in the way that the characters were headed and the way that the overall story was headed. I don't feel like the Duffer Brothers had an exact idea. They had a rough estimate, of where they wanted to go. I just feel like the first couple episodes didn't really find its groove, and then especially it kind of got thrown off with that one episode. I want to say it was like episode 7 with her sister and the thieves, the robbers. That episode obviously is just it's the worst episode of the series. Like, everybody collectively seems to agree that it's the worst episode of the series. But aside from that, I think that the rest of Season 2 has enough enjoyability and entertainment and character growth and exploration to come on top of Season 3. I also like Eleven's character growth and her backstory being a little bit more developed with her mother. And one of the only reasons that it, again, is down so far this low on this list is the fact that this season in particular feels a little bit forgettable. Whereas Season 3, I might not have been as attached to the material, but it's still more memorable than I found Season 2. But I will say I just like the overall story that was told in Season 2 more than in Season 3. Okay, so we are already halfway through. You guys will probably be able to tell what the next spot is on this list. So with the number 2 spot, the second best season of Stranger Things is Stranger Things 4 Volume 1. This newest season of Stranger Things and just the first volume has managed to absolutely recapture all of my attention and really get me excited about this show. I felt myself trickling off after each season, except for the first. The first season had me captured the whole entire way through, and I love that season. I love it. Like, it's up here. The rest of the show's really good, but it doesn't match that first season. But this season, the 4th season, it brings back the horror, the character drama as well as just the comedy that everybody loves from this show. But for me personally, the horror aspect is where I found myself really coming back to enjoy this new season. It obviously has references to Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously with the man himself, Robert Englund, making a cameo as Victor Creel, which was really, really cool. I honestly thought he was going to be Vecna, which I know a lot of people thought he was going to be Vecna, but I think it's fine that he's not. It's cool that they threw him in there. It's cool that Vecna himself is the Freddy Krueger of this world and of this franchise, and it still works without being Freddy Krueger. I don't know. I love this season, and it's not even over yet, so I'm really excited for Volume 2. Okay, and that leaves us with Stranger Things Season 1 at the number 1 spot. Yes, so Stranger Things Season 1 is my favorite season of the show to date. It is fantastic. The first time I saw Stranger Things Season 1, I remember exactly where I was, which house I was in, which bedroom I was sitting in, almost how I was sitting when I watched that first episode. I remember, seeing the Hawkins lab first sequence where you first see the Demogorgon take out some of the lab members. Like, I just have good memories when it comes to the first season of the show. And as you can see, I've got, my 11 versus the Demogorgon Funko Pop, which I do really love. But this show, the first season, I gotta say, it feels the most emotional to me personally. And my favorite sequence in the entire series, I want to say, is episode 2 or 3, when everybody finds Will's body and you think that Will's dead, for like a full episode or episode and a half, until they reveal that it was just like a fake Will with stuffing inside of it. During that moment, every single time I watch it, I get choked up, just because Finn Wolfhard and his interactions with the rest of the group members, it's very reasonable and plausible for a kid to be acting these ways. The score, the soundtrack is fantastic, and then you absolutely feel for Jonathan and Joyce Byers, because they're going through this traumatic experience of losing your brother or son, and it's really just an emotional, moving series, and that's what I found from the first season. The first season is just really moving. It's about friendship. It really has themes from like Stand By Me, Jaws, Alien, things like that, but it all ties together so well. I know I'm babbling, and I always babble about things that I like, but I guess that's a good thing, because Stranger Things, I know it's a global phenomenon. It's big for a reason, and that's because the first season was fucking awesome. The first season obviously got people, who grew up in the 80s to pay attention to it, and then, people like me who were just curious about the aesthetic and curious about the way that it looked. I remember I got this show recommended to me by my old high school friend Logan, who was like, "Oh, hey, you should check out this show Stranger Things." And I didn't even really, I don't think I watched the trailer, because he watched the whole show. He watched the whole first season in one night, and he was like, "Oh, hey, go watch Stranger Things." And I just started watching it, and I fell in love. So the first season of Stranger Things is awesome. It is still my favorite season to date. I honestly think they should have left it as a one-off season, which is the Duffer Brothers' original plan. However, with the success that it was, you knew that it was going to continue, and had it not continued, had it been that concise little one-off story, I would have been asking for more for like the rest of my life. So I am glad that it continued, but there is still that small part of me that wishes that it just stayed as this concise little story, because the way that the first season wraps up, I thought was really, really well done. And obviously, had they planned on making it just that one season, the ending would have been slightly tighter, slightly cleaner. And that being said, I don't have any complaints from the first season in general. Like, I love the first season. I love Steve being an asshole. I love Barb, even though Barb's barely in it. Like, fuck. Okay, that's my ranking for Stranger Things so far. We have Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 coming out this Friday. I'm very excited for it. I also have a Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2, Who Will Die tier list video coming out. So be sure to check that out. It might already be out right now as you're watching this video. But I'm very excited to see who lives, who dies. I've heard that this season is going to end on a darker note, and I really do hope that's true. I honestly kind of hope that we see just a bunch of people just get wrecked by Vecna. I want to see multiple deaths, so make sure you go check out my prediction video, because I do have a couple wild predictions that I, one, think might be true, and two, I think will have some crazy impact on the show moving forward. So be sure to go check that video out. I'm Carter Scotland Allen. I will see you guys in the next movie-related, TV-related video. Let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments below. I'm Carter, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.